Am I the asshole for quitting my job with my husband's business? My husband runs a business out of our home. After his old secretary quit, he asked me to help out with her responsibilities. I've done this for 5 years now. This is my full-time job, but there is no pay for it. He says I need no pay because I can buy whatever I like and he can pay the bills. I feel no ability to buy what I want, despite what he says. We have to replace our house's septic tank, but he refuses to save money for it. He says he'll take out a loan for it if we need it and pay it back. I can't save money myself. Last week I saw a confirmation email that he just purchased a $1,000 stamp for his collection without asking me. This was after he got upset at me for buying a too expensive, $50, new litter box for the cat. Last week he was yelling at me about not preparing a client's forms fast enough. I was ticked off and said, "What are you going to do, dock my pay?" He called me immature, and I said that I was quitting. He said it would hurt the business if I left, since he'd have to hire a secretary. I said that was his problem and I can get another job to make up for it. I've been submitting resumes. He said nothing to make me want to back down. I told him that he could give me a salary and I would come back. But our family members think I should stop with the tantrum by now and just get back to work. They think it's ridiculous that I want a salary for money that will go back into the same bank account. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. A salary to you would probably benefit the business. It would certainly benefit you, your credit rating, and your ability to find work if you left him and needed to do so. It would mean that he didn't get to keep your wages for himself. Not the asshole. This sounds like financial abuse, wherein the spouse does everything they can to limit and control your financial situation. I would get my own job. Not the asshole sounds like it's time to explore a lawsuit against your husband's business, for back wages. I'm not even joking. Wage theft is wage theft, even if it's your own husband doing the thieving. I know it gets thrown around a lot here, but what you're describing is financial abuse. Is the behavior you've described representative of how your husband interacts with you normally? Please read the book Why Does He Do That? By Lundy Bancroft. There's a free PDF which you can easily find online. It may help you recognize some of the things that are leaving you feeling so sidelined and used by your husband. Not the asshole. He sounds like he is financially abusing you. Not the asshole. Oh look, another man profiting off the unpaid labor of his wife and thinking he can make unilateral financial decisions because he makes the money. Not the asshole. If you work for him, you deserve a salary. He doesn't just get free labor. I'm surprised you put up with this for 5 years. There is a huge difference in being allowed to use his money and have your own money to use. Not the asshole. Get a job and also get a separate bank account, because by no means should you put your money into a shared account with this man. Not the asshole. And OMG, is your husband rubbish with money? You need a new septic tank, but obviously a $1,000 stamp is the real priority? Am I the asshole for telling my husband he cared more about his bathroom time than his own kid? I, 27 female, am married to a man, 34 male. Together we have 2 children. His daughter, 11, and a son we shared, 4. We've been married for 6 years. We have the older girl on a 50-50 schedule. The way it works out, she is at our house typically 3-4 nights a week and then her mother's house the same amount of time. A big area of conflict between my husband and I is that he feels he doesn't get enough time with his child. We fight about it all the time. And I'm not really sure how to help him with this. He has been divorced for 10 years and the custody schedule he has had been in place since long before I came into the picture. Years. Recently he has been working only part-time, so he is off 100% of the time she is here, even if she's at school. And I took a second job so we could work the logistics financially. Because I really wanted to help him with this. Our day-to-day schedule looks a lot like I get up with the kids and get them off to school, then I go to work. Since hubby has to be at work at 5 a.m. the days he works, I let him sleep in when he is off. The kids do aftercare after school until I get off from work. I go pick them up around 4:45 p.m. When we get home, hubby will talk to the kids about 10-15 minutes while I walk the dogs. Then my son will watch TV while my stepdaughter, and I will do her homework. My husband will take this as an opportunity to go to the bathroom. Around 5:36 I'll start cooking dinner while SD and son play. At this point every single day my husband is still in the bathroom. Around 6:30 I will knock and tell him dinner is on the table. It takes him roughly 15-20 minutes to come to eat with us. As soon as dinner is over he excuses himself back into the bathroom. The kids and I clean the kitchen and then they do their baths etc. and around 8:30 I will knock again for him to come tuck in our son. Husband and SD will hang out for about an hour while I do the house chores and then I will go walk SD up to bed and hubby will take his shower and go to bed himself. I walk the dogs again and then do the same. So the other night my husband told my SD she didn't have to go to bed on time and I pulled him aside and reminded him she had a big test the next day and past performance has proven she needs effective rest the night before. After she went to bed we had another all-out fight over how he feels it's my fault he never spends time with her. I yelled at him that if he didn't spend hours every night in the bathroom he would have more time with her while she is awake. Obviously something else is going on with him because if he even cared about her he would make time for her the way I do. He has not spoken to me in 4 days even though I have tried to say I'm sorry so many times so I know I really hurt him. I think I may be the asshole because I know this is the one thing he is most insecure about and I threw it into his face in a moment of anger. So, am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You're working 2 jobs and doing the cooking and the bulk of the childcare and he's pooping? Unless you're putting laxatives in his food. I fail to see how any of this is your fault. Not the asshole. Hate to break it to you, but your husband is either having an affair, is on drugs, or has an online gambling or porn addiction. There's nothing else he is doing in that bathroom. His getting angry is deflecting from his wrongdoing. The angrier he is, the less you'll question what he's doing. Whatever he is doing, it's absolutely, definitely, 100% shady. Not the asshole. You're literally doing absolutely everything for both of the kids and he eats with y'all and hangs out with her for an hour. Does he even spend time with your son? He needs to go to the doctor since he literally cannot participate in your life. So the man spends 3-4 hours in the bathroom every night and then he complains that he doesn't spend enough time with his own daughter. Not the asshole. You are actually a saint to work with this situation for so long without throwing it to his face. Not the asshole if he doesn't have a chronic gastro or digestive condition. Then honest question. Do you suspect he's on drugs? For ref, I dated a heroin addict for a year and a half, and he had similar behaviors. Not the asshole so on the days he doesn't work he sleeps and you work 2 jobs, cook, clean, walk the dogs, help kids with homework, bathe them and get them to bed. He spends 15 to 20 minutes at beginning of evening to talk to kids then dinner. The rest of time in bathroom. He is either watching porn or has a serious digestive issue, which I would think he would have told you. Either way he is not pulling his weight, he is letting you do it for him. Not the asshole are you sure that he doesn't have a health issue or a possible addiction he is hiding? Hours a night in the restroom followed by a shower is very concerning. If he has no health issues there is another explanation because no one spends that much time in there, no one. You're saying 5-7 bathroom and then another hour plus after dinner. Something is wrong. Hope you get this figured out, but I see you doing nothing wrong. So basically, you have 3 kids and the eldest kid, husband, is on drugs. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole demanding my boyfriend to pay me for a replacement phone after he threw out my old one? Hello. I, F, 32, met my boyfriend, M, 37, about 9 months ago. He has 2 kids, 4 and 6 both boys, from his previous relative. His kids are adorable and I love spending time with them. However, we do not live together yet. So last week he had a work trip and asked if he could bring the kids to stay with me and I approved with zero hesitation. The boys came over and we took the entire day doing fun outdoor activities. We got home in the evening and I decided to post one video I took of the kids playing with the snow. I posted it and got a number of likes. I tagged my boyfriend as a surprise to let him know how much fun the kids had, but when he got back he was furious with me for posting a video of the kids without permission. He pitched a fit and went on about how I overstepped, invaded his and the kids' privacy, used them for internet likes, and betrayed the sense of security he thought I had for the kids. I was flabbergasted by his reaction. I said what's the big deal and he literally started shouting at me and berating me, insinuating I should never have done that. He demanded I delete the video, wipe it along with any other videos and OICS I took of his kids off my phone completely. I was going to do what he asked but I found that he took my phone and threw it away. He only gave back my SIM card. I lost it asking why he did it and he said that I created this situation and made him do this. I called him unbelievable and demanded he pay me for a replacement phone as soon as possible but he said he wasn't responsible for my mistakes. I argued that he massively overreacted and he should have let me know he didn't want the kids to be on cam, and he just kept going on about how I violated his and his kids' trust and privacy and how it's never an overreaction when he's trying to keep their privacy intact. I kept demanding for a new phone and he's refusing. So am I the asshole? I do feel like I should have spoken to him, but I think I have the right to not want my phone thrown out over a small mistake. And so begins the free childcare. Not the asshole. Okay, sure. If he doesn't want his kids' images on social media, he could have told you. But throwing away someone else's property is theft. This is a big red flag for how he will react in most situations he doesn't like. Yes, he should replace your phone, but I very much doubt he will. I'd also cut ties with him because you don't need to be treated like that. And did his ex even know you had the kids alone with you? Whoa, throw that whole ass man away. While he had a right to ask you to take down vids of his kids from social media, he had zero right to throw away your personal property. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, and thank him for showing you his true colors, allowing you to get the fuck away from him sooner rather than later. Holy not the asshole. I get it, some parents are hyper-vigilant and do not want their kids on social media. However, I have a suspicion, he just doesn't want someone to know the kids were with you. Jealous ex? Maybe he wasn't really doing a work thing? But, even if he seriously just doesn't want his kids on social media, his reaction is over the top. You're not going to get your phone replaced by him. Maybe it's time to consider whether you want to be in a relationship with someone who responds this way when upset. Not the asshole. Time to dump your boyfriend. My goodness, his behavior is incredibly alarming. Not the asshole, but newsflash. He's married or at the very least still emotionally involved with his ex. No one knows about you. Break up and move on. First red flag was introducing you to the kids so fast. Info. Where is the children's mother? Is it possible your boyfriend is married or has a custody arrangement that doesn't allow him to leave his children with people? While I don't think people should post photos of other people's children without permission, your boyfriend majorly overreacted. Based on his reaction, I don't think you are in a safe or healthy relationship. There are some serious questions you need to ask yourself before moving forward. Not the asshole. This guy is a massive jerk and you should not be in a relationship with him. He has every right to ask you to take the video down. He has no right to take your phone and dispose of it. He has insane control issues and zero boundaries. Am I the asshole because I told my son not to marry a girl that's holding her V-card over him? When my son was in high school, he dated this religious girl, Becky, holding out for marriage. She did the whole no sex for marriage thing. He proposed to her right out of high school. He went off to college, and she continued the no sex until marriage thing for 2 years. She also said she would only be a som and did nothing while my son went to school full-time and worked full-time. I kept trying to tell him this was not the right situation for him, and he eventually called it off his second year of college. He eventually married a woman that's a better fit for him. My son is happy. I ran into Becky at a store a few days ago, and she confronted me about how I destroyed her life with my son. It has been 10 years since I have seen her. Becky seemed crazed and ranted and raved at me in a clothing store with my wife nearby. I finally put my stuff down and told her maybe she shouldn't have tried to manipulate my son with her high-handed virginity and religious views. She got even more trashy, acting following my wife and me outside. Finally, my wife even said that the best decision my son ever made was not to marry her. Becky was crying hard when we pulled out of the parking lot. Just standing there. It did make me feel sorry for her situation. I think, I will only be a housewife and will not get a job or contribute to the home, is a bigger red flag than, I won't have sex until marriage. But I guess not the asshole for advising your son not to marry someone who would treat him badly, especially if he was only going to do it because he wanted to have sex with her. Not the asshole. 10 years later and she still hasn't moved on? Good on you for protecting your son. If your son isn't religious in the same way she was, that alone can put much stress on a marriage, as she'd want the kids raised the way she was. Unless you forbid him from marrying her, it was his choice that he made once he'd matured a bit in college. Not the asshole. If she wants to save herself for marriage, that's her choice and it wasn't your decision to make on it. Nah man, enjoy those tears. She would have been crushing your son's soul for the rest of his life, and she wouldn't have given one fuck. So fuck her. I'd openly laugh at her if I was you. But I'm not a very good person. I would say not the asshole you advised your son. At the end of the day, it was his decision not to marry Becky. Info. What's the conflict here? That you humiliated her in public? Or that she had the audacity to date your son with boundaries? You are the asshole. I'd have said ESH because, whilst it's absolutely clear you did interfere in your son's relationship, it was ultimately his choice to end it and Becky shouldn't rant at you for this. But maybe she shouldn't have tried to manipulate my son with her high-handed virginity and religious views. You basically just had a go at her for not shagging your son. Gross. Your son should be more than capable of deciding if a relationship will work for him or not. You are the asshole. You're not wrong for advising him not to get married so young, and you're not wrong for advising him not to get married simply to get laid. But you are an asshole for interfering in their relationship overall, as if there was something wrong with her. What's more, your phrasing here is gross and misogynist. Holding her V-card over him. WTF? As if girls owe sex and if they don't put out they're just being manipulative. Gross. If you say that right here, I can't imagine what you said in person. You're awful.